Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, episode number 135, for Friday, February the 27th, 2009. Hello everybody, welcome to Review a Day, the video blog where I review movies. My name is Leland Brungar and thank you guys so much for joining me. Do you guys remember when this was a daily video blog? Because I remember. Those days are long gone, but I'm still here reviewing movies for you guys. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday, everyone. TGIF. Woo! It's been a long week, and to celebrate your Friday, you should head over to Dampercast.com because episode 6 of my podcast, The Dampercast, is out. This week we discuss top 5 video game boss battles. We discuss how to spice things up in the bedroom with your girlfriend or whoever. And we also talk about my 21st birthday party. There was some good stories to be told there. Check it out. If you're at all familiar with the daily review here on YouTube, Aaron Fenn, Durden85 is his YouTube name. He's the newest member of the Nitpick It community. You should check out his daily reviews because they're awesome. This week on the Nitpick It podcast, I did my first Skype interview. Aaron and I talked all about Flight of the Conchords, the new series Eastbound and Down. I talked about the movie Fired Up, which I reviewed a couple days ago. So head over to nitpickit.com and check out that podcast. It's also available on iTunes. Nitpickit.com, Nitpicket.com. Thanks for checking that out, because I think you guys will like it. The film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is a documentary. I don't feel like I review enough documentaries on here on Review a Day. This film is available on the Netflix Watch Instantly. So I watched this on my Xbox last night before I went to bed. And I didn't plan on watching the whole thing, but I got kind of sucked in. And the documentary I'm going to be talking about is No End in Sight. And this film is written, directed, and produced by Charles Ferguson. And I have to say, I love when a documentary or a small film comes out and it's written, directed, and produced by the same person. I have nothing but respect for people who go out there and really try everything they do to get their films made. And I definitely think this is a really prime example of this. I think this movie was nominated for an Oscar. Maybe, I think I saw something like that on IMDb, but who knows. This film is a pretty comprehensive look at basically the first year of the Iraq War, kind of the occupation that we're all familiar with. And when you talk about a documentary like No End in Sight, it's hard to separate, well, how do I feel about the film's political message, and how do I feel about this movie as a film, as a documentary, as an art form of making the documentary. And with a film like this, it's completely impossible to separate them because they are one and the same. I don't think Milk really was one of the best films of the year. I don't think the screenplay was really that strong. I think it had some great performances, and Gus Van Sant is a hell of a director. And that movie's great because of, I don't think it's that great of a film, but I think the political message the film has behind it absolutely makes it one of the most important films of the year, one of the best. And I think that's how I feel about No End in Sight as well. The film does a pretty great job of laying out the steps that the Bush administration took going into the Iraq War. And it's pretty startling exactly what this film lays out. I really want people to see this documentary. I know not everyone is going to like this. And chances are, if you already know you're not going to like this movie and you're not going to agree with what it's putting forth, just skip it. Just don't waste your time. I knew I was going to agree with the message in this film, so there was that. There were a couple times in this film where I felt a little confused. This is a really meaty documentary. It's very dense. There's a lot to take in. And the film, for the most part, does a really great job of laying it out. There's graphs in this film to help kind of ease you into what was happening, but there were times I was like, I'm kind of confused and this is a little dry. The movie's really not that long, but the entire film really is a lot of interviews and stuff like that, so when you're just staring at talking heads for an hour and a half, 2 hours, it gets a little hard. I think this is a much more effective documentary than Fahrenheit 9/11 or a lot of the Michael Moore documentaries, which I feel Fahrenheit 9/11 to me is more of an editorial or an essay, kind of one person giving his opinion. And I feel like this movie, anyways, is very much more rooted in the facts. And it's not so much the director giving his opinion. I mean, he is, because it's a documentary and it's very subjective, but not nearly as much to the point where Michael Moore, the director, is walking around in the movie itself. This movie has a lot of really, really horrific images of war and death and stuff like that. And in a lot of movies, I feel like that's kind of emotionally, it's kind of a cheap shot to show me images of burned children in movies because, of course, I'm going to think that's sad. But I think when you're talking about a war documentary, war movies, whenever you talk about war, I don't know how else you can really talk about it without talking about how horrible war is and how sad it is. And I think this movie does a really great job of laying that out. This is also a really well-crafted documentary. It's really well made. I liked the editing. I liked how they conducted the interviews. I found this a very great documentary, very interesting. I give No End in Sight a 4 out of 5. I think people who already know they're going to enjoy this movie will seek it out. It's a really great political documentary. I highly recommend it. If you guys like this review, make sure to head over to nitpicket.com. That's nitpicket.com. Also, give me some star ratings. They're somewhere. Make sure and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.